श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते। सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So like to welcome once again everyone, and yesterday we began the course by first understanding the history of devotee care in ISKCON. How did the initiative started? So when the GBC was focusing on strategically planning the vision for the next 50 years, and outreach came one of them. And someone raised the question about what retaining devotees. We were making devotees, what about retaining devotees? And that clicked everyone. Everyone agreed that this is very important and we should focus on that. And that's how it started. But there were so many questions about it. So therefore, 2 years of research and dedicated effort of a team who went to 50 devotee communities. They traveled and interviewed the leaders and so on and so forth, and then came up with this devotee care course. When was the devotee care course rolled out? Wait a minute. Yes, Prabhu? 2017, just next year after the ISKCON 50, 2017. So it was first rolled out in 2017 and then has been evolving since then. The course used to be conducted in 4 full days earlier, but then wherever we would propose, they would say 4 full days is too difficult. At max, we can have a long weekend, 3 days. So we from 4 we brought it to 3 days, long weekend. But how many long weekends are there where either Friday or Monday is a holiday in a year? Maybe one, two, or three max. Could be one or two. Then people said you have to do the course on weekend only, not even a long weekend. So it became that means from originally from 4 days, 4 full days. First 3 days we started doing over 3 days, and then it was not feasible for many devotee communities to host. So care in practice, application, devotee care in application. They had we can't just afford to come. So many other responsibilities, work. So then we thought, okay, we have to do it over a weekend, condense it further, and at least keep Friday evening. That was agreeable for most. So we 2.25 from 4 full days to something like 2.25 दिन में इसको कंप्लीट करेंगे. दो का हमने थोड़ा भी नेगोशिएट किया है, दो तो बहुत कम हो जाएगा, तो थोड़ा सा और समय चाहिए. तो Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday. So this is the in this model we have been doing this course for around in 20 hours over a period of 3 days. So yes, so this is the history. As I said, the course is evolving gradually. So what we need to focus on, and then we realized we need to spend a little more time on the practical application. After we were doing the course, devotees will often not find sufficient time on sitting and doing a practical application. That takes time, a lot of thought, and a lot of churning takes place. And many devotees they said this is one of the best part of the course in our feedback. So we increase the time for that. So while we are reducing the overall time of the course, we have to also increase the time of practical application for the course. So therefore, further condense some other parts and maybe skip some parts. So depending upon community to community, we have to skip some parts which we thought, okay, these are not so relevant ones for the time being, and then we can focus on this, and spend more time on the practical application, which is most important. So in this way, the course has been evolving over the period of time. We also discuss many case studies as we go around different communities. We learn from them and we share with others. So that's how also the course has been evolving. So, so the history of the course, and we discussed in the beginning. After that, we discussed the statement of Prabhupada, right, on devotee care, one of the important statement of Prabhupada. What all did we learn from there? Just few phrases, few words from Prabhupada's quote, 7th canto, 5th chapter, 12th purport. Yes, Prabhu, what did we learn? Okay, behind you. Sorry. Everyone's devotee care is everyone's responsibility. The first thing we learned. Yes, Prabhu, now you tell me. Same thing. Okay, everyone's. But there are some other things also. Appreciation, importance of appreciation. That is Vaikuntha consciousness. So therefore, when we appreciate others and not be proud of our service, what else? There is one more important thing. Yes, allowed to render service. What does that mean? Yeah, to the best of their capacity. What does that mean? Allowed to render. We not just not discourage them. We just like squirrel may feel discouraged by Hanuman. So Lord Ram, no, no, no. Equally important. So not to discourage anyone. That the at least not to discourage anyone, but rather to facilitate or support other services. And therefore, a person who facilitates others' devotee service to the Lord is extremely pleased with that person. Everyone should be friendly, yes. So cooperative, cooperation, friendliness. So all these things. There are several aspects of devotee care we learned from that particular quote. Okay, and then we saw some of your uh, reasons to join the course. Several reasons. Then we discussed about the positive and the negative learning experience. They both are learning experience. Sometimes the negative learning experience would be a strong learning experience. We could learn from a negative experience sometimes which may retain for a longer time, or there would be impactful learning. So therefore we are grateful for every learn. Whatever comes on our way, we learn, take a lesson, and progress in life. So in this way, positive we discuss some positive learning experience, a negative learning experience, and we got to understand something, what to do and what not to do. These two kind of things. Then we discuss about devotee care is important because you all gave several reasons. Devotee care is important because devotees are so dear to Krishna. Krishna is very pleased, and the devotees are taken care of. Definitely, the movement will not just sustain, but it will grow, and so on and so forth. So, several reasons we discuss on the importance of devotee care. Then we went to the understanding the meaning of what is devotee care, and there we started that with meaning of word care. And here, and even this list can go on. We can add still more words. And but in order to be able to put into practical action care, we can have two categories. So the categorization helps us to understand a concept and put into some practical application. So therefore, care is a virtue, and care is also action. Quality of the heart is a virtue and also practical action. Just like another word, devotional service, bhakti. Just like bhakti is also Prabhupada translated as a quality is a devotion and service is practical action. So therefore, uh, and yes, so these are twofold meanings. But the word term care has been used in several contexts in English language, and we saw four broad meanings of the word care, four broad meanings in the English context. Can someone recall that? Yes, okay, wait, Vishnu Datta Prabhu. Responsibility, affection, attention, worry. These are the, and within that we saw there are several other words which pertain to that. That means, see, the if we have to be caring for others, we have to understand the need of that person. What does that person need? It may be that that person needs only attention, some time with you, right? Like someone may say, "Can we go to Govinda's for prasadam?" So you may think, "अरे इसको गोविंदास का प्रसाद खाना है." तो बोले, "अरे मैं बोल देता हूँ फोन करके, तुम उधर खा के आओ, हाँ? मेरे को जाने का जरूरत नहीं है तुम्हारे साथ." Something like that we may say. But the need of that person may be that that person needs some time of yours, and that person only is putting the let's go to Govinda's for prasadam, something like that. So what I am saying is, before we give care to someone, we have to understand what that person needs. Does that person need some affection, some attention, or we need to take some responsibility? Uh, That person needs us to be more responsible as a husband, as a wife, right? Or that person is having some worry, some insecurity. He wants that to be relieved, some kind of assurance. So basically, we may not understand. So, what is the reason we discuss such so many different meanings of the word care? Because there is diverse needs, and often we may not understand what is the need, and uh, we may try to give care in our language, while the other person need is different. To give a simple example, often between husband and wife, the husband feels he is very caring because he is working very hard to provide everything. Wife feels my husband is not at all caring. Why? Because he never gives any time. And these are very common because they both have different understanding that for the wife, care means the husband should give time, not just the things or resources or etc. etc. For her, the time is most important. So her, therefore, we may have different definitions of caring. We feel this is what caring means. But for other person, it could mean something else. That person or need of that person could be something else. Therefore, we are studying a different meanings and four categories: responsibility, attention, affection, worry, so that we can identify the need. What is the need of that person? Need some attention or some affection, etc. Like that. So one of the fours, or could be a shade of it. So the care is a very broad term, and uh, understanding different meanings of the word care will help us understand the diverse need of different individuals. Actually, so what could be it could be someone else's need, could not be my need. I may not even sometimes comprehend. This could also be the need of some other individual. So like that. So we have to learn to appreciate, uh, understand and appreciate the diversity of needs of different devotees. Diversity in the needs of different devotees. So that is very important, and therefore we have been trying to understand the different meanings of the word care. Okay, so uh, yeah, so after we saw and after we broadened our understanding of the word care, uh, we discuss the vision of ISKCON for devotee care. Now, vision had two statements. There are two statements. First, the society. What does the society wish to have? Right? The responsibility of a society. So, therefore, as a ISKCON society, or as all of us, we are members of ISKCON society, and we are responsible. And what is the society made up of? Society is made up of devotees. So we, as a part of ISKCON, want every devotee to be, now who will complete? Each and every devotee to be, wait a minute. Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Yes, Prabhu. Each and every devotee to be, take the mic and speak.
Really happy.
Okay, spiritually happy. Fine.
Correct.
Good.
And situated.
How?
Well, but
Materially well situated. Yes. The second, third. The first statement has 3 points. And the second statement also has 3 points. First statement you complete. Okay, each devotee is spiritually happy, materially well situated. Okay, yes, Prabhu, Shanti Vardhan Prabhu. Okay, positively identifying with ISKCON as a caring society. This is a positive identification. That ISKCON is a caring society. So that means it's my home. Something like that. It's my home. So that's the responsibility we take collectively, collective responsibility of all of us as leading members of ISKCON. Then each and every individual, there were three phases to, like there is a collective responsibility. Similarly, there is an individual responsibility. Individual responsibility. Because it is both ways. It's both ways. As individual also we need to take responsibility for what? Three phrases can someone recall? Raise your hand. Yes, Narottam Prabhu. Take the mic.
Self-care,
Self-care,
seek care,
seek care,
extend care.
extend care. Self-care would mean I identify my own diverse needs. That I need something, and therefore I should be able to ask a person, a qualified person, a senior devotee or manager or right, one of the leaders that this is something which I need, and then I wholeheartedly extend that care to others. So this is individual responsibility. So both have to go hand in hand. So yes, so that's a vision statement for us, and we are starting from the vision statement that we saw yesterday. Okay, so now we already touched upon that sometimes this word materially well situated is not appreciated or understood in the right context. And I touched upon already that how what does it mean to be materially well situated? That yes, that we externally we are situated in such a position that we are able to execute devotional service in good spirit. So whether it is health, whether it's finances, etc., etc. So just like I gave you the example, I hope this lives in good health. So Prabhupada wanted that. Okay, so another very beautiful quote of Prabhupada which explains materially well situated that we will see now. It is from 8th canto, chapter 2, verse 30th. Microphone, someone request someone to please read.
Now, from this, we may take the lesson that our fight with Maya, we should not be in a position in which our strength, enthusiasm, and senses will be unable to fight vigorously. Our Krishna consciousness movement has actually declared war against the illusory energy, in which all the living entities are rotting in a false understanding of civilization. The soldiers in this Krishna consciousness movement must always possess physical strength, enthusiasm, and sensual power. To keep themselves fit, they must therefore place themselves in a normal condition of life. What constitutes a normal condition will not be the same for everyone, and therefore there are divisions of Varnashram. Purport Srimad Bhagavatam 8 to 30.
So what do we learn from this about materially well situated? So the statement is in front of you. Maybe one of two of you can share a reflection. What do we learn from this quote about being materially well situated? Yes, Panita Madhav Prabhu.
It may refer to one's ashram
Okay.
being situated and some basic needs which may differ from individual to individual.
Okay. So one thing is one's ashram also. Where are we placed in the ashram? If we are not placed in the right ashram, um, it's not that sometime the youth may feel brahmacharya ashram you have to be in, but they may not be uh, suitable for the they may not be able to actually uh, be rightly situated or well situated in brahmacharya ashram. Right? So like there was one brahmachari and uh, he expressed to uh, Radhana Swami Maharaj, I am not feeling loved for in the ashram. And then Maharaj told that actually how, you should start giving love to others and then you will receive love also. So Maharaj explained to him, etc., etc. And then he later also, after a few some time, then again approached and he said, Maharaj, I'm not feeling loved for. Maharaj, actually, the kind of love you are looking for doesn't exist in the brahmachari ashram. So you have to, you have to, resituate yourself at that time. So he gave him indication. Yes, so we all have different needs. We have to be rightly situated, well situated. So that could be the ashram also. That could apply to ashram. So overall, okay, in which context is this statement made? Gajendra fighting. So Prabhupada says, now we all are also, fighting with Maya. We all are like spiritual warriors. Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness means we declare war on Maya. We all are warriors, fighters. In a fight, one has to be rightly situated. One has to be properly situated so that one feels the strength to continue. So now, though Gajendra had a greater strength than the crocodile, but he was being defeated for the reason that he was situated in water. So the animal of the land is fighting in water, and while the crocodile is well situated, is well situated. So he is getting his nourishment, he is getting his strength in the water. While the elephant, though stronger, is being defeated because of not being well situated. So therefore, Prabhupada beautifully explained the importance of being well situated, being well situated. So therefore, so we have Prabhupada says we have to be in a normal condition of life, and what is normal is different from different individuals, different from different individuals. So therefore, uh, one has to identify that what are my needs and am I rightly situated, and taking help of senior devotees and so on and so forth, taking guidance. When we are rightly situated and not trying to do something artificially, also sometimes now in this time and age we may want to imitate others. We may not be meant for that. So now especially in this time and age, everyone wants to become a celebrity, right? And have their own, social media, Instagram, YouTube channel, and everyone wants to be in the limelight, etc. But we can be happy with, just rendering simple service. Actually, the bhakti is very simple. So it's not that there's some people they are serving by, preaching widely and they could have become celebrities and so on and so forth. So we don't have to be in someone else's role. We can be happy without that also. So therefore, comparison and trying to be not our own self, not in our normal condition, life and so on and so forth. Someone may written many books, and then we also feel, and I should also write a book. I should also become an author. But it may not happen actually, and then we will be frustrated in that attempt, so on and so forth. So I'm just giving few examples that we can be in a normal condition of life, well situated, externally well situated, and feel encouraged to fight war against Maya. Feel encouraged to continue basically our Krishna consciousness. That's the important thing. We go ahead. So as I discussed, this is the vision, and this statement explains something about the vision. Then we have a mission statement. How are we going to fulfill this vision of devotee care? And that's the mission statement. So what's in the mission statement? There are two particular statements. Request someone to please read it out. The okay, yes.
We strive to ensure that Vaishnava virtue care pervades all aspects of ISKCON society.
Fine, good. How can that be done? So we want the virtue of care to pervade. The virtue of care to pervade. How can that be done? Any suggestions? Through empathy, just like we have the Holy Name Week. right? So we want to emphasize. We want to be chanting more. We emphasize the chanting. We have Holy Name Week. We have Holy Name seminars. We discuss about it again and again. And therefore, that's one of our core principles to chant the holy name, to propagate the holy name, right? And so on and so forth. Similarly, just like we we actively discuss about something, we practice something, and that value pervades. So, see, we want the virtue of devotee care to pervade, and therefore, we have to be talking about it, discussing about it. We have to spread education. All these educational seminars about devotee care are meant so that the virtue of devotee care pervades. And we should see that, okay, here is a case study of devotee care. We appreciate that. So then everyone feels okay. Just like we appreciate a book distributor, someone who distributes books, and then everyone said, okay, yes, Prabhupada is pleased by distribution of books, so we must also do that. So like that. So when we discuss about it, we appreciate that virtue in others, that virtue will spread in our society. So we therefore, as I said, devotee care education is important and its discussion is important. That's the first mission, the virtue to pervade. And second, yeah, please read the second statement.
Support and provide specific care services that enhance the spiritual, emotional, physical, social well-being of all ISKCON members.
Okay, so either support and provide. So either we can provide certain services ourselves or we could support them. Now, if you see, the first statement is in relation to care as a virtue that we want to spread. Second is inaction. So the mission statement of devotee care is in relation to care as a virtue and care as action. So in action, we want to either provide or support. There is a difference between the two. So just like certain medical services we can provide. We have some first aid services within the temple. If there's some devotee needs a wheelchair, we can provide some, etc. etc. But if there is some advanced medical service, then we can support and say, okay, here is the hospital, will be taken care of. We have some tie-up, just like I guess Hinduja Hospital. The devotees would go often to Hinduja Hospital from Juhu, and the doctors were there, and the management there was quite favorable to ISKCON. So similarly, there was one psychotherapist who started coming to the temple, and that person offered, if some devotee needs some kind of, you know, psychotherapy, that means it's not medicinal, it's just a counseling, advice, etc. So I'm willing to do that. So then we support, okay, some devotee needs, now within ISKCON, we can't have, there is a department for those who needs psychiatric help or psychotherapy. We can't have that in ISKCON. So, but we can support it because there are so many, some devotees need some legal advice, etc. There are other devotees who will be willing to provide that help, at a genuine help, either either way at a nominal price, etc., etc. So therefore, we can connect the those who need the care and those who are willing to give care. That is called as support, and that is uh, what is actually much required in ISKCON, because there are many devotees who will be happy to extend their services, and there are others who need some specific services, but there is no connection between the two. So devotee care initiative can actually support caring services by connecting. There is a need to receive care. Actually, there is a need to give care also. Because when we give care, we ourselves also feel being cared for by the Lord. We all have both the needs. We also need to extend our care, share our care. That nourishes our heart also. So there are these twofold needs, we can say. We can put it like that. There's a need to receive care, but there is a need to give care. And we have to connect the two. We have to connect the two. And then that's very good actually combination. There are several case studies. Maybe later I'll touch upon few of them of supporting caring services within ISKCON. So therefore there could be a limitation on providing caring services, but we can at least support caring services within the ISKCON. Any questions here? Anything you want to ask, share before we move ahead? So we have covered the vision and the mission, which are two very important statements, visionary statements. Devotee care. Yes, Parth Govind Prabhu. Take the mic.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. So this care as a virtue, often we may see other devotees embody it, and that will be kind of like an inspiration, which generally happens when we are new. We have some senior devotees who take care of us in
Yeah.
different ways, and we also try and imbibe that. And when dealing with other devotees, we try and behave maybe in the same way, in a caring way. But so that I'm just thinking that that's a little external, and like we kind of saw someone do it, and then we're trying to embody it. But for it to be like a virtue, uh, I'm just thinking that it's probably an inherent quality which then comes out as uh, action. So how to strengthen that, or actually get that virtue strengthened, so that naturally the action is there.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Parth Govind Prabhu asked a very nice question, that we see someone as a caring person and we, okay, say, we should also be like that. But it may not be our inherent virtue in the heart. It may happen. How to have that virtue strengthened within the heart rather than simply seeing someone, understanding someone on intellectual level and be caring? How could we imbibe this virtue on a deeper level? Am I right? Right. So that's a good question. So first of all, at our stage, uh, it works in two directions: out in out. So both ways, that way. So out in is what? That we, like Prabhupada used to say, if you don't feel enthusiastic, act enthusiastically, and then you will feel also. Out in. Yeah. So that fake it, actually, that's the statement is fake it, but that is a sincere attempt. It is not artificial. So therefore, we can avoid using the word fake. So because we don't want to fake anything as such, that duplicitous nature. But it is a, like, I sincerely try to do something and I imbibe it. Just like a child just made to practice. Say thank you before you eat this. Prabhu has given you a cookie, Mahaprasad. Say thank you first. So child is made to do something, do something repeatedly, and gradually the child may imbibe it. So out in. That's one way. And secondly, by the practice of sadhana bhakti, by actually uh, hearing about the our acharyas and how they actually extended themselves, sacrificed themselves. There are many values of devotee care which we will see are demonstrated by our acharyas in the scripture. So when we read about them, when we glorify them, and so on and so forth, so gradually then we imbibe them or within the heart, they are strengthened. So therefore, so that strengthens our heart, and then we will be more caring person in out, while we understand this important and practice out in. So all the Vaishnava qualities are developed like that. All the Vaishnava qualities, like he said, Utsahan Nishya. To practice these six, your bhakti will be strengthened. So while doing our sadhana bhakti, attending Mangala Arati, hearing Bhagavatam, etc., right, we are doing Shravanam, that is affecting our heart. And then we develop qualities. While when we practice the qualities, that also strengthens our practice of sadhana bhakti when we develop the qualities. So therefore, all the Vaishnava qualities, including this quality of devotee care, will be imbibed in this two way, by its conscious practice and also by the process of hearing how these qualities have been demonstrated by great souls. Right? So these are two-way process. Bhakti in many things are two-way. Right? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes. What is that?
How giving care and receiving care are related to each other. As you were
Giving
saying
care
now,
and receiving care, I said that actually in this world, there is a need to also give care. There is a need to be to love and be loved. There is a need to give care and be cared for also, both ways. So we want to connect the two in the society of devotees. I myself seen, as I heard, that there are some devotees who would come to me and say that I'm good at that. I can serve someone in this way if someone needs it, but they don't find that person. They want to do a specific service. I'm good at playing, some instrument. हाँ, कहीं पे कोई कीर्तन वीर्तन होगा तो मेरे को बुला लेना. हाँ. And there may be someone who will looking for that person who can help in that regard, playing some instrument, just giving an example. So there is a need on both sides, and the devotee care team can try to have a system of network where the need to give and the need to receive are matched. They're matched. Right? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Samadarshi Hari Prabhu, right? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna. So, the statement which I understood is that if you're giving a service, okay, that is always grateful, correct? I mean, it is understood as a grateful. But when you are expecting a service from the others, so how is that? I mean, whether it is a good quality or how it is.
Okay, devotee should not be, demanding actually or expecting nonsense. So actually, it's a good point. In general, see the devotee care initiative, we focus on extending the care, give the care, because in doing that, everyone automatically receives it. So I'll just narrate one small pastime of Prabhupada. So there was Prabhupada was giving a talk in New Vrindavan, and there was one Mataji. They were sitting outdoor. Prabhupada giving outdoor talk, and in the evening it was becoming cold. And this Mataji was little bit, in the when it became cold, she was doing like this, and Prabhupada noticed that. Prabhupada noticed that, and at the end of the talk, Prabhupada called the temple president. He said, "Look, this lady, she needs warm clothes. Now, as a humble devotee, she may not ask for it. Devotees are naturally humble; they may not ask for it. But you, as a leader, should understand the needs, and you should provide for without being asked." So you see what a healthy combination here. So uh, as devotees, we may not demand it. First of all, not demand it, and the leader should identify. But when the community of devotees grow, the leader can't identify everyone's need. Also, growing needs. So therefore, we need uh, many devotee care team initiatives. So where the devotees can come and express. Therefore, we are talking of self-care, where we can express, because it may happen that in a bigger community, not everyone's need may be identified. So that's like the attitude. The attitude should not be that demanding. But yes, when I understand that I need some kind of care, then I should be able to go to someone and express myself without demanding it in that mood. And then, yeah, they're two separate things. So therefore, I'm not demanding, but I'm expressing my need, and that could be a very valid need, and that maybe my need, so I may continue rendering my service. I got to continue rendering my service. Uh, one actual case study comes to my mind. One very senior uh, Mataji, she stopped coming to the temple, and then she came after several months. And then one of our devotees asked, Mataji, I'm seeing you after such a long time. What happened? Yeah. So then she said, I don't come because I don't get a chair to sit. Because my back is very bad now, and I don't get a chair to sit. At that time, probably there were not sufficient chair, or even there is a chair, there's a greater demand than the greater needs, and so on and so forth. So now she is whom she should ask for chair and etc. etc. She is awkward, and she will not get it. So can't sit down, can't stand all the time. Growing age. It stopped coming. So it's a fact. Many such case studies like that. So at least if there is a team, if there is a group of devotees, a devotee care team, she should, and she, okay, here is a elderly care, 2 3 devotees. We say the elderly care team. If any elderly devotees, any Varishtha Vaishnavas have a need, they could approach them. So then she could easily approach and express her need, and it could be provided. It could be provided. So yeah, uh, this is just one case study, because now it's a bigger community. Not everyone can recognize the need of every individual. It's a genuine need, such a simple need. But stopped coming to the temple because this simple need could not be fulfilled by her own effort. So therefore, she should have expressed it, and it could have been fulfilled. It's not that it's not so difficult also. So there are many such case studies, and therefore we are talking of um, devotees expressing them, and we provide or support. So there are certain things we can provide, like certain needs like that. Okay, so we move ahead. Yeah. Okay, so here we have a nice devotee care statement. Request someone to please read it out.
We are also worried about our family, but our definition of family is that we have to take care of everyone because they are all children of the same father. All these people are children of Krishna.
Okay, what do we learn about devotee care from this in terms of something from the vision or the mission statement? Okay, so we have to extend care. We have to extend the definition of family. Just like we have to extend that. So that is one thing we learn. Something else? We should feel a part of the family. What does that mean? Sense of belonging also. We should all feel when we extend that care to others, then the every individual's sense of belonging also increase. And so when we extend the care to others, they will also feel that we belong to this family of devotees. So therefore, extending care helps to cultivate the sense of belonging, which is there in the vision statement. We want everyone to positively identify themselves with ISKCON as a caring society or a caring family. Okay, so we have some more statement like to hear from you. What do we learn about devotee care? Yes, someone can please read.
Are important. To feel that the leaders love them and care for them as individuals, not just what service they do. Srila Prabhupada did that and inspired great results.
Okay, so we want all devotees to feel that they belong to ISKCON here in the brackets. Okay, they belong to ISKCON. We belong to Prabhupada, we belong to Guru and Krishna. And to feel that we have some important role to play. And we want the devotees to feel that the leaders love and care for them as individuals, not just what they can do. Fine. Any thought about this particular statement? Any reflection on this? Yes, Nanina Kant Prabhu.
Everyone needs to be cared. It's not on service, particular service only. The person who is doing some service is to be only cared.
Okay, fine. So, yes, so basically this statement has one very important point about devotee care, which is many a times what may happen is we appreciate devotees for what they do, what particular service they are doing. And that is needed, no doubt. But we should also be caring for the individual. Just to give an example, the reporters would come to Prabhupada and they would interview him. They would interview him and they would thank you Swamiji for the interview, and they would pack the cameras. Prabhupada would want to talk to them even after the interview. Why? because he was concerned about their Krishna consciousness. So he was not just concerned about the report they would publish, he wanted them to write a nice report, and there no doubt, but he was also concerned about the reporter, not just the report. Therefore, he wanted to talk to them. Still, he would like to talk to them so that the reporter understands Krishna consciousness and the reporter takes to Krishna consciousness. So, therefore, important point that we learn from here is we want to care for devotees not for what they do, but for what they are. So, we want to love and care devotees not just for what they are doing, but for what they are. That means they are devotees of Krishna, and therefore they deserve to be cared for. Like some of you expressed, the devotee is very rare, and devotee is dear to Krishna. So often in institution, the performers are rewarded, the performers are appreciated for what they are doing, and we may not be able to focus upon the individual at times because services are important. But as leaders, we should also understand that when we take care of the individuals, that inspire great results. So Prabhupada had this quality of being able to care for the particular individual, care for the soul, that person, see that person as part and parcel of Krishna and care for that person, and not just simply what the person can do. So this is another important aspect of devotee care. Okay, so there are several case studies. I'll just touch upon one or two over here. I already shared that devotees may either leave ISKCON or may become inactive due to, at times, often because of feeling lack of care, or they are not able to express. They need some support. They need some care, but they are unable to either ask for it or unable to easily, easily obtain it, and therefore they may stop coming or either leave or become inactive. There are several cases like that. I shared the case of just one senior Mataji uh, who stopped coming because of the chair. Actual case study. And uh, another, there was another very senior person. He was in a leadership role in ISKCON, something like the role somewhere close to vice president, that kind of position, very senior leadership role. And that person once fell very sick, and somehow, whatever reason, that person sickness extended for quite some time. He was not able to come out of it, and he felt that no one actually cared for him. Now everyone felt the leader को क्या care करने के लिए? वो देख लेंगे, उनको care करने तो बहुत लोग होंगे, etc etc. But actually somehow that person felt that no one actually cared for him, and he after somehow he recovered and so on, and he left ISKCON and he joined some other institute. And later, when some of the devotees met him who were close to him, and they asked him, "Hey, what happened? You left ISKCON and joined." He said, then he expressed himself, very frankly. He said, "We have the best philosophy, but hardly any care. So, although the place I am, their philosophy is not high, but they take care of the person." This was actually expressed. So he joined an institute where the philosophy may not be very high, but actually there is a good level of care. Actually, real case study. Real case study. Similarly, another person stopped coming, and for several long time not coming to ISKCON, and then when devotees met him and asked him, "What happened? We don't see you." He said, "अभी मैं मेरे को खुद खाना बनाना पड़ता है, पहले मैं मंदिर आता था, प्रसाद ले लेता था, अभी भी प्रसाद मंदिर में चालू है." बोलते वो मेरे को अभी ये हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम पूरा गिनाया. I can't take rice, can't take potato, can't take too much oil and spices. तो पूरा इस्कॉन प्रसाद आउट हो गया. राइट. पहले तो मेनली राइस होता है, फिर पोटैटो तो होता ही होता है. एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. तो बोलता ना तो राइस, तो बोले सब्जी का खा लो, सब्जी भी नहीं ले सकता. दाल में भी मिर्ची मसाला ज्यादा है इत्यादि है. तो कोई भी चीज नहीं खा सकता. तो बोले अभी तो मैं खुद मेरे को खाना बनाना पड़ता 3 टाइम, मंदिर कैसे आऊँ इत्यादि. एक्चुअल केस स्टडी. So many such case studies are there within devotee. I'm taking a simple one. There could be even other, complex case studies where uh, somehow loss of faith, mistreatment, this, that, etc., etc. But these are simple ones which are not difficult to address actually. Which are not difficult to address. Some of these needs can be provided for. It doesn't require too much of an effort also. So there are many case studies of devotees become inactive in their service, and once they stop association, their spiritual inspiration also comes down as the association weakens. So in this way, there are several case studies, and there is a beautiful quote by His Holiness Satyananda Maharaj. Can someone please read it out?
Many many devotees have already left Krishna consciousness because they feel physically, emotionally, socially, and even spiritually starved. But all these needs could be provided for if we had communities of care.
Okay, so Maharaj is talking of, and he has wide experience uh, in Krishna consciousness, that so many devotees actually have left because of being feeling starved or being the feeling of being uncared for. But all these needs could be provided not by just a department, but these needs can be provided by a community of devotees, because it's the community which can actually help to provide the diverse needs of the individual. So it's a community's responsibility. And to create a culture of care within the community, we need at least a devotee care team to start, to initiate that. And when the leaders emphasize, then we can have the culture of community. So therefore, a lot of, although it's everyone's responsibility, but unless the leadership emphasize, till that time the culture cannot be created. So therefore, leaders play a key role in emphasizing and prioritizing devotee care within the devotee community. Okay, so now having understood that there are diverse needs of different individuals, and if they are not being supported or provided for, the devotees may leave or become inactive and so on and so forth. So now we come to the next important discussion. What are the different areas in which we should either provide or support caring services? Different areas on a practical level. On a practical level, I would like our scribe Ganesha Prabhu to please write down areas of devotee care. Please take the whiteboard marker. Areas of devotee. Oh, we have it here. We have it here. I hope they are not permanent markers. Some of them are permanent. Is whiteboard? No, permanent. Take the whiteboard marker. It will be better. Yes. In the meantime, you can just think of some practical, like we discussed several case studies. Some practical areas, some practical aspects in which we need to either provide the support. Hare Krishna. Yes. Okay, emotional care, emotional health care. Yeah, fine. Emotional. Say one or two things which will help to support emotional health care. What in terms of emotional health care? So someone needs emotional health care. So what could we do in practical sense to provide emotional health care? Okay, fine. That's good. That's good. You may not immediately come to mind. Others can want to say something. Yeah, no, no, fine. One thing you can say. Okay, attention, personal attention. Hmm. We identify that the devotee is seeking attention. We may give some attention to that person. That's good. That emotional health care. I remember once I was walking in the temple and I was looking at the phone, and one devotee wanted to greet me, and I bypassed him without looking at him. I didn't even notice. Now that happens. Because I'm looking at the screen, I may not look at who is near me, who is passing by me, and so on and so forth. And that devotee felt, अरे प्रभु जी ने तो मेरे तो देखा भी नहीं. फिर वो बाद में कभी तो मेरे को मिला, प्रभु जी आप मेरे से नाराज हैं क्या? Like that, Of course, he also understood, but yes, there was a need for some attention. And because nowadays, we may just be looking at the mobile phone screen, and we may neglect someone who may need at least to, even giving attention by greeting somebody and smiling at somebody. It gives some kind of emotional care actually. You may not realize. Right? For a senior devotee, some senior devotee just even greets you, with a smile. That also is some kind of emotional nourishment that nourishes someone. So then when I learned that later that this devotee wanted to talk to me or greet me, and I just neglected that devotee, not understanding, then I reflected upon it, and I resolved that while publicly walking, and so on and so forth, I will keep the phone in the pocket. I will not look at the phone because you know I may be impersonal with others. So therefore, a small thing, but there is something to be learned over there. So yes, attention is one thing. In the bracket, you could just write attention below. Attention could be one thing. There could be some other things, giving some time, attention, and so on and so forth. Emotional health care is one important area, and rather, it's a very important area of healthcare, emotional healthcare. Okay, yes, we'll have some more. Yes, Prabhu, Samdarshi Prabhu. Social care, social care, fine. Yes, Krishnadas Prabhu. Okay, okay. The qualities, we appreciation, and so on and so forth. Right? You could just write under emotional appreciation connected with something. Yeah, fine. So areas of devotee care. Financial care, financial care. Any example of financial care from the scriptures? Financial care, yes, बताइए. Give the mic to Prabhu. हाँ,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when many devotees when they come to Puri,
हाँ,
and he informs to Sivananda Singh,
हाँ.
and one of the devotees' name is Murari. Other devotee, he whatever money comes, he spends, and he calls Sivananda Singh. You just look after the financial status of this devotee.
Okay, okay. You combined few things, but that's good example. This takes place in yes in actually in Bengal where he tells Shivanand Sen. Yes, Shivanand Sen is Yatra manager. First of all, Prabhupada writes that Lord Chaitanya very much appreciated him because he brought all the devotees from Bengal to Jagannath Puri, and he would sponsor the yatra for most of the devotees. He would not have any yatra registration fee. Actually, Shivanand Sen and Mahaprabhu was very pleased with that. There was financial support. Not just that, Vasudev Datta Thakur was that great person. He was not just, he prayed for everyone's deliverance, but rather what did he do? He would spend everything. He was so liberal, whatever he would earn, he would spend on serving the devotees, on Vaishnava Seva. And Lord Chaitanya therefore told Shivanand Sen, he said, he is so liberal, grasta hai nahi ho chahiye sanchay. He is a grasta, he must have savings. Sanchay na kaile kutumb bharana na hai. If it doesn't have saving, how will he maintain family? Lord Chaitanya, who actually came to give the highest wealth of spiritual world, tells Shivanand Sen, Agrasta must have saving. Vasudev the Thakur must have saving. If he doesn't have saving, how will he maintain his family? but he's so liberal that he, even if I tell him, he will not be able to do. You see, sometimes we tell somebody to do something, उसके स्वभाव में नहीं होता actually, and we think कि मैंने उसको बोला है कर नहीं रहा है, मेरी बात नहीं सुन रहा है, insincere है, ऐसा भी होता है बहुत बार, but actually उसके स्वभाव में नहीं है. तो महाप्रभु अंडरस्टूड, इसको बोलूंगा सेविंग करो तो नहीं कर पाए, ही इज सो लिबरल. Therefore महाप्रभु gave the responsibility to शिवानंद सेन, इनके फाइनेंसेस आपके हाथ में है आज के बाद, आप इनको सेविंग करके दीजिए, एंड दैट्स लाइक सपोर्टिंग. So Vasudeva Thakur is not at all good in managing finances, but he needs saving. Shivanand Sen is very good. You support. Mahaprabhu himself, you support him. So here is the example of another kind of support Mahaprabhu created, and also emphasizing the financial care. Financial care. So like that. So financial care. Give an example. Prabhu reminded me of Shivanand Sen and Vasudeva Thakur. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Pass on the mic also quickly. Yeah, Rupa Goswami example Prabhu is giving. Yes,
Lord
Prabhu.
has said the formula how the wealth should be distributed. So not individually, suppose we don't come to know the who needs the financial help. But from our income also we can set aside some part.
Okay.
as our-
Okay, so
and that should be
same example of financial care. Rupa Goswami also divided his wealth in 25 and 50% as
not to that
show-
extent, but at least 10%, 5%.
Yeah,
of the
whatever
annual
it
income.
could be. He said one example, but it could be different one. That is fine. Good. Rupa Goswami example of distributing his wealth and financially supporting the Brahmanas, his family, and so on and so forth. The spiritual cause also. Okay, so what are some of the other areas? So we have got few areas here: social, emotional, financial. Some other areas. Sham Gupesh Prabhu.
Yeah, healthcare and
Okay, healthcare. Which healthcare? Just right, healthcare.
physical healthcare.
Physical healthcare.
And the
Physical healthcare.
prasadam part of it.
Prasadam also is part of actually physical healthcare. So, prasadam also, spiritually helps a person to advance. But for the devotees, prasadam is important for physical healthcare also. In the in some places in Russia, they have put the yoga as a part of morning program. Of course, we're not recommending that to everyone, but uh, so many of brahmacharis were getting sick due to some problem and so on and so forth. So they adjusted the morning program in such a way that squeezed out around 40 minutes where everyone does the yoga as a part of morning program and before they take breakfast. Just like we have Ishta Goshti, we prepone the class, we shorten the class by 15 minutes, we start little early, etc., and we squeeze out some time sometimes. And therefore the time was squeezed out so that everyone gets to do uh, take care of their health. They and many they call also some teachers to teach them to take care of it's that the yoga we are talking of is actually exercises for the body. Physical health care is important. Yes, some other areas. Education, good. Education is also important aspect of care. Someone else? Yes, Prabhu.
Some social value he should have.
Huh?
Social, everybody wants some kind of value in the society.
Social care. Okay, being valued.
Means not valued exactly. Means he has something to do present in the society, feeling that I'm also doing something.
Oh, okay. Some kind of social contribution, sense of being contributing, that I am making a difference to a society of devotees. Right? So being valued for one's contribution. Okay, good point. Thank you. Yes, Radhari Prabhu. Speak loudly. Yes.
Utilize their own talent and own field in which they are expert to render some service
So
in the
give
society.
example of some areas like that.
Like if somebody may be very good at painting, or somebody may be very good at
Okay, so yes, so probably they are able to develop their unique skill sets. Someone is good in painting, music, this, that, they should be able to serve. Cooking, painting, so they will be able various skills, right? Various skills devotees are able to develop and serve in that way. Prabhupada also encouraged. different devotees with different skills. He engaged them, gave them service, connected with service to Krishna. Good point. Prabhupada welcome all kind of musicians. Bring all your instruments. If you see the brochure, Prabhupada put it for there is going to be kirtan on Sunday in Thompson's Care Park. All the musicians can bring their instrument. It was written in that poster. Whatever instrument you may have, bring it and play in the kirtan. Prabhupada didn't restrict it to that time, traditionally only Mridanga Kartal, but Prabhupada understood, they have this talent and it can be engaged in Krishna service. And the poster, I saw the poster which he had put, and he wrote all the musicians their different instruments. Yes, Narottam Priya Prabhu. Spiritual care, the very important spiritual care. And there are many aspects of spiritual care we'll discuss at a later point. But yes, spiritual care is, I would say, is the first and the foremost area of devotee care. And all the other areas support this care. Yes, good. Thank you. Some other areas of devotee care. Yes, Prabhu. Harish Narada Prabhu. Oh, you're asking a question. Fine. What's that? Yeah. You are which teacher you said?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you?
You are a KG teacher.
Yeah, like a KG teacher in preaching.
Oh, okay, yeah, like in preaching. I'm trying to understand the context.
So when the new people are coming,
Okay.
they feel after coming to ISKCON, all the financial problems can be taken care of.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, how do we handle such situation?
Okay, yeah. Actually, it's not that we can just take care of the finances of everyone. And so many people will come here, that take care of my finances in ISKCON. हमने सुना ISKCON के बाद बहुत पैसा है. ऐसा बहुत लोग ऐसे इस धारणा से भी आ सकते हैं. No, that is not. That's what I'm saying. That who deserves what level of care, that has to be understood. That this devotee has selflessly served for so many number of years, and can this devotee be helped in some way financially, in some way or the other? Just like can this devotee be given loan with the low interest rate or interest-free loan rate? Interest-free loan for some amount of time, some amount, that because this devotee has served selflessly and now need to, take care of something, whether the need of family or somewhere like that. So can we create some, at least give some guidance, of how this person can now manage the finances, or community or temple may provide some support, depending on individual, how much support for how long, etc. That call has to be taken locally. There are several case studies of different devotee communities providing some kind of financial support to different individuals, right? Depending upon their level of dedication, selfless service, and so on and so forth. There are several like that. Right? Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes. Any question apart from finances? Huh? I'm not very good at finances and so on and so forth. But yeah, so principally we are discussing, but as I said, details has to be charted out locally. Yes, Vishnu Das Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu, you also want to ask something? Okay, yes, you can take the mic.
And let's say devotee needs some time also.
Yes.
For example is suppose somebody get hospitalized.
Yeah.
Then entire day somebody has to be there. His family members cannot provide time. We sometimes go and sit with him.
Yes.
Or sometimes his relatives are hospitalized. Entire day somebody is required to take care of.
Yes.
So sometimes in our congregation, our Shishaguru tells us that there is nobody blocked to this and this time. You can go and sit if you have time.
Yes.
Like time is important. Giving time, you don't give anything.
Yes.
Time is important.
Giving time, the time and also attention, and that's this very important aspect. And yes, so again, a community of care. Individual may not be able to provide, temple may not be, but a community can.
Yes.
Community can. So if the message is sent in the community, this devotee needs, this devotee is hospitalized, Can different devotees go at different times to uh, spend some time? And many may volunteer. Many may volunteer to do that. Once the community devotees know those who know that devotee well and so on and so forth, so that need could be satisfied in that way.
Even I've seen in some hospitals, many times I've seen even those who are not in a devotee field, there are some persons in the material world also who are retired. And they sit there and they ask anybody, do you require any help? You want to bring medicines? I'll bring. If you want, I will sit here for
Oh,
with the
okay,
patient.
okay, okay.
Like that, many hospitals, there are people who's doing free
Okay,
service.
okay, okay. So again, they have time and there's a need to give care. Again, another example. There could be some individual, they have time and energy and they would want to do something for someone, make difference in
Many
someone's life.
times phone calls are to be made. Patient is very serious and that person actually near is very in trauma. So some person take care, so when he inform is all related also. That also we have seen some.
Yeah, yeah. So therefore, there are different ways of different people, not just devotees, but even people in general, they extend their care for others. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Guru.
Yes. Hriday Yagya Prabhu, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, care during yatras while we are on a yatra,
Okay.
care during yatras.
Yeah, there is circumstances, but any specific area of care you want to
So
highlight?
it could be prasadam, it could be traveling, it could be.
Okay, write them about prasadam, right? Like some devotees are traveling on a train, some prasadam service while traveling, or on yatras. We need different devotees are now coming up saying if you are having a yatra, who can provide prasadam. Good.
Just one more point.
Yes.
Succession planning of
This is
devotee
succession
leaders.
planning. That's like a leadership uh, concern overall for the ISKCON. Succession planning is one of the broad concern of the leader for the leaders for the movement to go on. Okay, yes, Parijat Mataji. Okay, relationships. Okay, wait a minute. A relationship with the area. So you are expanding upon that or now talking of okay relationships in different aspects. Relationship in the Grasta ashram, relationship between children and parents, or within the children, amongst the. Okay, so yeah, so relationships is a very broad area, and relationship applies to all kind of different situations basically. Even the relationship between the brahmacharya ashram, between the grahasthas, right? Between the husband and wife, and then between the grahasthas, and so on and so forth. So relationship, okay, that's good. That's a very important uh, area of care, relationships. Why? Because I was talking to one very senior leader and I asked him this question. Sometimes I just ask some question to some leaders. I said, Maharaj, which area of devotee care do you consider to be most important? And I think I asked in midterm GBC meeting in Kanpur, Guru Prasad Swami Maharaj. I was meeting many leaders, so sometimes I may not remember the exact name, but yes, so I was talking to them, and I would ask several questions in relation to devotee care to enhance the understanding. So this is one area, one question I would ask to different leaders: which area of devotee care do you consider is very important in ISKCON? And Maharaj said relationships, and then he said, uh, even if you have all other areas being taken care of, finances are good, health is good. If the relationship are not good, person will be very miserable. But if the relationships are good, even if finances there is some strain, health, up and down. If the relationship are good, then a person can tolerate the rest and still go on. So I really like that answer that if everything else is working well, but not the relationships, a person's life will be miserable. So relationship, Maharaj said, is one of the very important areas of devotee care. I was seeing one documentary where refugees were moving from Europe to US when the US were in a very probably somewhere in the 19th century. or 20th century. So the refugees were moving from Europe to US, and after the Hitler was persecuting them and all that, they were traumatized. So and they were moving there, and they were being interviewed, etc., etc. And one of them said, life was tolerable as long as there was one person in the family who loved you, and life was tolerable. So it's kind of again emphasizes relationships. So if there is one person who is loving you, caring you, then you can tolerate other things. You can tolerate other things and still go on with that. Yes. So yes. So family is not supportive of Krishna consciousness. So anyway, the we are talking of the area of relationship. So then, how to you know make the family also the devotee? So that kind of training we are giving. Make the family members devotees gradually. Deal with them in a sensitive way. The youngsters also need to be educated. And in many cases, when the youngsters are taught how to deal with the family members, will respect them, right? Understand their concern, address their concern appropriately, and not behave fanatically. Often, family members also become devotees. It has been seen. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good point. Okay, some more areas of devotee care. Yes, yes, Mataji, you can. Yeah. Oh, you're saying at the time of some crisis when someone leaves. Okay, so when there is some death has taken place in some family, then other community devotee support. So you can say that kind of in terms in tragedy and emergency. If there is some tragedy, emergency, and so on and so forth, we extend the care. And actually, again, I'm saying that how uh, there was one lady, she became a devotee, and her father was not a devotee. So when the father met, when the father left, amongst the devotees, because the father was not the devotee, hardly any devotee went to meet that family or for the cremation and so on and so forth. So this devotee, this lady who was a devotee, but father was not, and all the other relatives they came. So then she actually, later shared that I felt so much that I consider devotees to my family, but there were hardly any devotee because my father was not a devotee. But there were all the relatives they had come. So then she felt quite disappointed by that, and she expressed. So it may happen sometime, that this may happen in the society of devotees. So we especially during the, even if sometime we may not be able to go in some celebration, that's still okay. But when there is a calamity or tragedy, that time devotees should extend and support and go. Now again, even if the other family members are not devotee, but at least there is one family member whom we know is a devotee. So these are some case studies. These are some lessons to be learned actually. As you pointed out, in terms of tragedy, emergency, that time you know the care is needed the most, and when devotees extend themselves, uh, it is very much appreciated. And there are many cases where, in terms of tragedy, where the devotee is extended, and those that gratitude for that remains lifelong. There are many such case studies also. So there are case studies of both kind, of a very positive care or somewhere some neglect, and the person feels very hurt and demotivated, discouraged to continue in the association of devotees like that. Yes, some other areas, those who have not yet spoken. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, so children care, caring for the children. Fine, thank you. Child caring, child rearing, and so on and so forth. Yes, some other palliative care, palliative care. Palliative care means when a person, the doctor says we can't save him now. It's just the pain management. Help the person to depart in a minimum with a minimum pain and with maximum gain, basically. Maximum spiritual gain, minimize the pain and maximize the spiritual gain. That is palliative care. Fine. Yes, something on your side. Recreation. Okay, okay. So recreation, like yatras and so on and so forth. Right? Devotees need recreation. Lord Chaitanya would have water sports with the devotees. Right? So some kind of recreation. Yes, Prabhu. Huh. Okay, okay. To be in touch with those who have left the moment. Some devotees, if they can keep in touch and keep a friendship uh, without judging them, still love that person, and there's a good chance that we can bring them back. A good chance we can bring them back. It's a good. After recreation, you write, yeah, reviving or bringing the lost devotees. Recreation, उनका, to recreate their devotion or their enthusiasm. That could also be like recreation. Fine. That's very important aspect. The devotees who have left, we want to bring them back. Okay, thank you. Thank you. We have many such areas. So, yes, Prabhu, please take the seat. I have to stand for a long time. Thank you. So, the GBC Devotee Care Committee identified 12 broad areas of devotee care. What is special about the number 12? 12 Mahajans, 12 cantos, 12 forests of Vrindavan. There are 12 months in a year. What else? Sorry? Oh, there are 12 Aditya, Dwadash Aditya till, 12 Adityas, the 12 sun gods who came to give heat to Krishna. So there are many things about 12 is quite a special number, right, as we can see. So therefore, in line with this number 12, because 12 is the auspicious special number, we have 12 areas of devotee care. So here are and these are 12 broad areas, 12 broad areas of devotee care. I hope you are able to see that. I can, yes, make use of technology and enlarge it for you. So you have it with you? Okay, the PDF. It's there in the PDF, the soft copy, which is shared with you. So the 12 areas of devotee care. You have covered healthcare, relationship is covered, child rearing, child care is covered, education is covered, even career and employment. If the devotees, like I'm sure there are hundreds of devotees who are employed within the ISKCON projects, even within ISKCON Juhu and Bhaktivedanta Hospital and so many other projects, so many devotees, then they can be full-time serving while also being, because as Grihasthas we need employment. So both the needs are being fulfilled, career and employment, financial care, housing care, housing care. This has not been touched, housing care. And actually, yes, nowadays, if many Grihastha families can stay near to the temple, so new projects are being developed in such a way. Just like earlier, there used to be नीचे दुकान ऊपर मकान, अभी नीचे temple ऊपर मकान. ऐसा, there are many buildings being developed. The temple will be there, and the Grihasthas can live just in the same building or just the adjacent building. So then what? They are staying very close to the temple and serving the deities and so on and so forth. This concept is there amongst the Jains. There are many communities, Jain community, they have a temple in the center and everyone stays around in the buildings. Have some of you seen or known that?
Yes.
There are several Jain communities like that. So many devotees are also in Pune, Hinjawadi, Vishalnagar. There are several projects. Not just there, probably in Bangalore also. Several places such projects are coming where devotees, the temple is being developed along with the land where the devotees will stay around. And the devotees will be benefited, temple will be benefited, there will be ample devotees to take care of services. So both ways. Huh? Yeah, GV also we have now the housing, Rasta housing coming up and so on and so forth. So housing is important aspect of care. Being able to stay in the vicinity of the temple nourishes the spiritual creeper of the devotees. And both are being benefited mutually. So housing care. In fact, I want to inform you, for many years in Africa, the local devotees were not taking to Krishna consciousness. Only Indians were taking. This is a phenomenon is there at many places. And Prabhupada wanted the local Africans to take up to Krishna consciousness. Some time back, probably a decade back or so, uh, Nairobi, they started student hostel housing. And the student can stay here. It's not that they have to chant or follow principles. They have to take daily bath. Minimum criteria. Right? Yeah. So and then they can stay and very nominal rent and take prasad. Nice food was according to their taste prepared. And they started staying. And gradually they just bring them to temple for some short kirtan and so on and so forth. Very minimum, and few days a week there is some like a skilled like life, what do you call, personality development class, etc., something like that. And gradually when they stayed and with daily taking prasad, daily attending, if not daily, 3 or 4 days a week, some kirtan, some short talk, over the years, in 3 4 years, then some of them started becoming devotees. Actually, it took a long time because different, India, the spiritual culture is there. Prabhupada says you scratch and then that person becomes a devotee. But in many places, it takes a long effort. It's a long effort. So then they tried with one hostel, they expanded it. And then started women's hostel also. Right? So the boys hostel, girls hostel, and hostel capacity also got expanded because so many students now the and some of them I saw taking care of pujari services. Those who came from the hostel doing pujari services and taking nice responsibility, becoming nice devotees. So the local started becoming devotees because they had to stay very close to the temple then. Coming for them to call them to the temple is very difficult. And if they're staying very close to the temple, then it's very easy for them to take prasad. They have to come to the temple. So ठीक है 10 मिनट कीर्तन भी सुन लो, etc. Right? So ऐसा रोज वो कर करके तो वो जा करके डिवोटीज बने. ये सब एक्चुअल केस स्टडीज हैं. Housing care. So if you see over here, so similarly the travel and immigration, I can give example of so many. I can give example of each. That will take a long time. But the main point is the first and the foremost is spiritual care. First and the foremost is spiritual care. But to support that spiritual care, there are 11 other areas which are not directly spiritual. They are seemingly material. But they are supporting that first and the foremost area of care, which is spiritual care. 11 other areas are to support that. Prabhupada wanted, Prabhupada would meet the ministers and it said, give the visas to my travel and immigration, give the visas to my American disciples. He would meet member of parliament. He would request that so that they can stay here for a long time, preach, develop projects and so on and so forth. So there are examples of each area of care in the scriptures by our acharyas, which will support the spiritual life. Just like there are 12 areas of devotee care, there are 12 recipients of devotee care, and I would say that 12 broad areas. Remember this word, 12 broad areas. Why? Because there are so many sub areas within the main area, just like spiritual life, you say. So many sub areas. So different devotees will require a different kind of spiritual support, so on and so forth. Just like there are 12 broad areas, there are 12 broad recipients of devotee care. They are recipients of devotee care, who should be taken care of. Sannyasis are also there. The senior leaders, sannyasis. So practically, what do we learn from this? Everyone needs care. Everyone needs care. So the devotee care is so broad. There are so many areas and so many recipients. So many recipients. And Prabhupada used to say a civilized society means where women, cows, brahmanas, children, elderly are protected. They are the first five. And then there are four ashramas: brahmachari, vanaprastha, grihastha, and sannyasis. Okay, so 5, 4, and 3. So this 12 division has a 5, 4, 3. And 3 is the other temple residents, leaders, and senior devotees. So there could be some overlaps also. There could be some overlaps. But but these 12 broad areas have been identified that they all need to be cared for. Yes, any questions on these 12 recipients or 12 areas before we have another 5 minutes of exercise and then we'll take a break. We have some refreshing juice for you. Okay, good. So now we would like to, as I said, that practically in the 12 broad areas and 12 broad recipients, that covers the entire spectrum of care within ISKCON, practically speaking. But the application will be local. Which area we need to emphasize here in this community? Which recipient is prominent? Like there are no brahmacharis in the Middle East. There are no temples only. There are no temples. So the first one is in Bahrain. Abu Dhabi has Swaminarayan temple, but ISKCON has one temple in entire Middle East. Only one temple, Bahrain. And there are no brahmachari. The brahmachari community here, brahmachari community doesn't exist in Middle East. The whole preaching is being run by grihasthas in the entire Middle East. Almost there could be one or two staying here and there, but no brahmachari communities. So it doesn't apply over there. This is ruled out. है ही नहीं तो किसका क्या करना है उसे? So the example I'm giving is the application will be local, depending upon which area is relevant, which are the recipients who needs to be taken care of. So it will differ. Okay, yes, Nitya Prabhu? Yeah.
Balancing institutional considerations while applying care towards these areas. I wish to know your perspective on that.
Balancing institutional
considerations.
Like?
When we are practically making some policies, for example, and for leaders.
Okay.
Making some policies or certain decisions for a certain aspect of certain communities, for example.
Yeah.
There are so many institutional considerations also. ISKCON has its considerations.
Yeah.
It may be financial, managerial, setting an example, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the question is that where does it come in when it comes to the thought process for decision making for these areas?
Yes. So basically, okay, good. So this is quite a important question, but at a high level decision making, that institution have their own constraint also. They have their own priorities, own constraints. So we have to have so many areas of care, so many recipients. How do we manage with the institutional constraints? So basically, gradually we have to integrate the two. That means the leaders, while making decisions, should also see uh, that this is a decision also uh, devotee care friendly decision. So that's the point basically. That's the point. So if you see, yeah. So in every management, so therefore, if there is a like in Radha Gopinath temple, we had made a system that if management takes any decision, then the devotee care team can sometimes say, okay, please review your decision. We feel this decision is not in terms of person friendly. You have taken a decision thinking of project, but this decision is not in the favor of the devotees. So they can kind of they can for the time being pause the implementation of a decision and management decision and ask them to review and give the answer to their objection. So that we give that uh, not to take the decision for the devotee care committee, but they can give their inputs that this is the reason and therefore review in this light. And if there is any conflict, then the senior leaders have to resolve and take the decision, take the opinion of the devotee care team also. So we get that perspective. So basically, the whole thing is that the management is trained. The best thing is to integrate the decision making process with the understanding of devotee care also, and then the you know it will be a more mature, balanced, and decision creating greater harmony. Okay, so fine. So okay, as I said that we need to do one small exercise for 5 minutes before we break. I I want you to sit in. We'll form 8 groups now, and there is a way to form the groups. We will have you count 1 to 8, 1 to 8, and then you can sit in the groups. And there is some exercise to be done, and in the groups just needs to prioritize. I hope so. In each group we have almost 7 8 Matajis also. So sometimes the brahmachari feels नहीं वो माताजी इसका separate group कर दो हमारा brahmachari का separate group कर दो ऐसा. So I am not sure what's the dynamics here. हाँ कैसा so Sujata ne you have to tell me should we form a mixed group or कैसा how do we go about with the groups, because we'll be doing that few more times. So I don't want to create any situation which you all are not comfortable with. Okay, the group, no problem. Actually, we are yes, that's everywhere. Most of the time, we just form big groups so that we can understand, appreciate each other, rather than just restricting ourselves. That we'll have Brahmachari will have one group, in Grahastha and Mataji separate group. But if we have a mixed group, we are sitting, we can get different perspective and appreciate each other's perspective. So from that perspective, since we all are together here, part of the broader community, so we'll do that as also suggested by Sundar. Okay, so now we will count 1 2 3 and so on. So 1 to 8 and then again 1 to 8. Yes, Nilikant bro. 9 9 1. Yes. अपना नंबर याद रखिएगा. Yes. 1 2 2 3 अब है 4. Okay, yes. Fine. So जो भी सब ones हैं वो यहाँ पे आ जाएगी. The 1. The 2 behind. Group 2 can sit behind. वो चेयर मत अपना लाइए, उधर का चेयर यूज कर लीजिए. There are the chairs. And then you can move the chair a little bit so that you can form a group. So group 1 here, please listen. Group 2 this side. group 3 can be here, group 4 can come here. Oh, wait a minute. We have 8 groups. Wait. We have to. I, because of numbers, I have kept the big number of more groups. You sometimes we just keep 4 groups when a smaller. So we have 8 groups. So then we need to do it. No, not merge. Huh? Yes. So अभी यही चांस है यहाँ पे 1 2 ये कैमरा के सामने इधर 3 जहाँ मैं खड़ा हूँ थोड़ा सा चेयर इधर करना पड़ेगा नहीं इतना समय नहीं लगेगा 5 मिनट्स की एक्सरसाइज है आना जाना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा हाउ डू वी डू दैट ओके अभी अभी दोबारा सुनिए एक एक ग्रुप में कितने 4-5 लोग हैं मैं 5 इन ईच ग्रुप और अराउंड 5 इन ईच ग्रुप सो अगेन ग्रुप 1 हेयर यहाँ पे आ जाइए थोड़ा आगे ग्रुप 2 हेयर ग्रुप 3 बिहाइंड है ग्रुप 4 यहाँ पे पास में 5 इधर पीछे 6 7 8 दोबारा एक्सरसाइज बता रहे हैं आपको एक्सरसाइज में एविडेंट है अपने ग्रुप में आ जाइए मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ 1 2 3 So we will have a. This is now this watch is not exact the right time. Let's see what's the exact time. It's 11:22. 11:22. So we will have we will resume. We'll resume at okay.